Okay, for your writing this week, okay, you're doing what we call a Halloween narrative. Okay, it's basically a story that you write. In this case, about Halloween. Okay, maybe about an incident or something. Okay, narrative writing. Narrative writing tells a story in the order that it happened. It begins with a catchy lead and uses details to describe people, places, and things. Okay, you could also use uh, dialogue. Okay, quotation marks if the characters are talking to each other, right? So watch this for a second. All right, so that's what narrative writing is. Okay, all right. Again, it says narrative writing tells a story in the order that it happened. It begins with a catchy lead and uses details to describe people, places, and things.
Hello. Today.
Okay. What are narrative features? So this is what you need to have in your story. It says, what are narrative features? Okay, so here's a couple things you need to have in your story. One, narrative features are the text characteristics which can be found in most narratives. The most important narrative features are this setting. And remember what that is? Jared.
The setting is like the place and where like the story will be like.
Yes. Okay, is where your story takes place. Okay. Obviously, this is a Halloween narrative. It could probably take place in your neighborhood. I don't know. Okay. Characters. Okay. You're gonna have to let when you're writing who's in your story. Okay. Plot. Okay. What's happening in your story. Okay. There's a beginning. The middle is probably where all the is what we call climax, where the story gets really really good. Okay. And then after that, if there is a problem, you'll resolve it. Okay. There's a problem and there's a solution. Okay. Maybe in your narrative, there's a problem, I don't know, that you're trying to solve. Okay. Something looks something like this. Okay. Exposition at the beginning of your story. Okay. Rising action. What are some events that lead up to climax? Climax is, okay, like when the movie gets really, really good. Okay. The hero and the villain start fighting, probably. That's probably this. Falling action. Okay. Okay. That's when they start resolving the problem. And then resolution, how was the problem solved? Okay, so you'll have something like this, okay, to guide you. Where it says exposition, that's just the beginning of your story where you introduce the characters and you introduce the setting where the story takes place. That's probably your first paragraph, okay? The rising action is events in order, okay, they complicate the story and build towards the climax. The main character faces several conflicts. So this is where probably you're going to tell me if your character is facing a problem. The climax is the highest point of action, the most exciting part of your story. Okay, be creative in all this. Have fun. Okay, the following action is are events in order that lead to the resolution. So this is probably when you're starting to solve the problem. Okay, a satisfying ending. The characters work to solve the problem. So how are they solving the problem in your story? And then obviously, a resolution is the outcome. What happened? Okay, what was the result of them solving the problem. Okay, how everything ends up with the characters. Okay, the end of the story. Okay, so again, an introduction, a conflict, action, a solution, okay, and then at the end you just want to wrap it up. Remember, you set up the scene at the beginning of the story. Okay, all right. I'm going to show you an example later of some of the kids that I've had in the past. You could start off with a question. Okay, this begins by asking the reader an interesting question. Okay, okay, since we're doing a Halloween narrative, okay, okay, don't ask me, oh, what's your favorite Halloween costume? That's not it. We're not writing an opinion. Okay? Okay. We're writing a narrative, meaning a story that has events that are in order. But you can't start off with the question, have you ever been scared before? And then maybe you want to share a story of when you were scared, probably. Okay? Okay. You do know you can do sound effects in writing, right?
Yes, Mr.
A
Partito.
ghost says what?
Boo.
Okay. You can do that in your story as well. Okay. So you'll be able to start on your narrative tomorrow. Okay. And it's right here. It's an assignment. You'll click on here, click view assignment. Okay. And you can start working. It looks something like this. Okay. Do not turn it in until Thursday. So again, a narrative writing tells a story in the order that it happened. It begins with a catchy lead, maybe a question, right? Okay, and uses details to describe people, places, and things. Narratives have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So basically 3 paragraphs. Narratives describe in detail the characters, okay? If it's you, your brother or sister, what kind of people are they? Okay, the setting, where does the story take place? And have a plot with the problem, all right? Narratives include dialogue. So if I use dialogue, what punctuation am I using? Quotation marks, yes. Okay? My sister yelled, ah! Okay? Then you would put quotation marks around, ah! All right. So your assignment is to write a narrative about Halloween. Be creative. Make sure you develop your characters and the setting using lots of adjectives and adverbs and details. Okay? So look, if you're gonna, let's say in your story you saw a monster. Oh, he was scary. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. Does he have claws? Does he have teeth? Okay. What color is he? Okay, be creative. Okay. Here's your checkoff list. We're gonna do a brainstorming, a rough draft. You're gonna revise, edit, and there's a final draft. Okay. Remember the plot?
Yes, Mr.
On your assignment, you have this. This is what you have, so you could go back and look at it later. This is what you're gonna start off with tomorrow. Characters. Do I need to write this in complete sentence? Oh, just say your brother, sister, whoever's in your story, right? The setting. What place does the story take place at? Okay. You can start writing some complete sentences here, like what's happening at the beginning of the story. What's the problem in your story? Okay. What's happening in the middle? Okay. And how did you solve the problem at the end? Okay. Later, you'll write more details here with transition words. Okay. But today, tomorrow, we're just doing this. Okay. All right. This is our spelling for week 10. Okay. We're looking at suffixes. That's okay. The end of a word. A suffix is placed at the end of the word of the root word and changes the meaning of the root word. Okay, so the suffixes is ly or ful, and some examples are up there that we're going to go over right now. Okay, swiftly,
Swiftly.
quietly,
Quietly.
fairly,
Fairly.
slowly,
Slowly.
friendly,
Friendly.
softly,
Softly.
happily,
Happily.
like happily ever after, easily.
Easily.
So if you notice, the word happy, right? They change the Y to I and then add ly, okay? Same thing here. Easy, change the Y to I, then add ly. Hopeful,
Hopeful.
colorful,
Colorful.
useful,
Useful.
right? Again, useful,
Useful.
helpful,
Helpful.
powerful,
Powerful.
thoughtful,
Thoughtful.
plentiful,
Plentiful.
meaning that you have enough, beautiful,
Beautiful.
something you should always tell your mom, okay? All right, then we're going to work on the first page.